Hey guys, gizmoddict here, and the chances are that the phone that you're watching this video on has a dual camera setup or a triple camera setup or max to max a quad camera setup. But today I'm showing you guys a phone that has a Penta camera setup, so it has 5 cameras on the back, and not only that, the primary sensor is of 108 megapixels. Yes, you guessed it right. We are talking about the Xiaomi Mi Note 10. It's coming to India very soon according to Xiaomi's official Twitter handle, but as you can see, I've got it right here in my studio and today we're gonna unbox it. I'll give you guys my hands-on review, first impressions. I'll show you guys some 108MP camera samples as well. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. But do note that you might have seen a lot of unboxings of this phone, but majority of them are of the Mi CC9 Pro, which is basically the same phone, but it's the Chinese variant. What I have is the Mi Note 10. It's the global variant of this phone, so it comes with Widevine L1, Google Play services, and this is exactly the phone that you will see launching in India. So this is that same phone which is coming to India, and it comes with everything including the global ROM from MIUI. So on that note, I would like to get started with this video, but if you guys are new here and you're watching my channel for the first time, then please hit the like button, press the red subscribe button, because a lot of videos about the Mi Note 10 will be hitting the channel soon. So let's take a look at the box of the Xiaomi Mi Note 10. So as you all know, Redmi is kind of a separate entity and they are for the budget phones, whereas the Mi and the Mi Note lineup of series are the premium segment of devices. So as you can see, the box of the Note 10 is also very premium. You get this very nice black packaging with just the Note 10 branding in silver, and it looks really minimal, rich, simple and premium. So inside the box, as you can see, the first thing that we get is the Mi Note 10 itself. Now my initial impression is that this phone is actually quite heavy. It gets around 5200 mAh of battery, so you can feel the weight there. And I've got this phone in this grey or blackish color that we've seen on the Redmi Note 8 Pro as well. So initial impressions, the phone feels really nice and premium. You've got this curved screen. It feels a little bit heavy, but let's keep it to the side and take a look at other things that we get inside the box. So below the phone we have a piece of cardboard which holds a couple of things. So first of all, you've got this SIM ejector tool, and after that you've got a TPU case for the phone along with some paperwork. So this paperwork, because it's the global variant, you get it in English, not in Chinese. You get the quick start guide, the warranty card, and then is the TPU case. So this is your typical soft TPU case. It's in the dark shade, which I like. The transparent ones get yellow very quickly. So this is a nice thing to have. But talking about cases, do check out this video sponsor gizmoddict.com. These guys have one of the best cases and tempered glasses for majority of the phones, including the Mi Note 10. So they've launched their new lineup of matte hybrid cases, which are this really cool looking matte cases with colored buttons and colored sides, and they have their real curve tempered glass, which is the only tempered glass in India with actual 2.5D curved edges. And for phones like the Mi Note 10 which have a curved display, they will be having a UV glass as well. They already sell it for the OnePlus 7 Pro and the Samsung flagship lineup of series. So if you guys want to buy any tempered glass, go visit gizmoddict.com, use the promo code Gizmo and save 10% off your order. So coming back to the unboxing, further inside the box you have the Type-C cable and the charger. So this is your typical normal USB to Type-C cable, and if we talk about the charger, this time around Xiaomi has given you a 30-watt charger. I think this will charge the phone in roughly 68 or 78 minutes. I'm not sure. I'll place the text on the screen, and it's a 30-watt charger. So that's a good thing to have, because considering that this phone has such a huge battery, we need that level of charging speed. So that's all you get inside the box of the Mi Note 10. Now let's throw everything to the side and come to the phone itself. So here's the Mi Note 10, but first let's talk about the specifications of this phone. So underneath the Mi Note 10, you've got the Qualcomm Snapdragon 730G. So this is the mid-range chipset from Qualcomm that we have seen on the Realme X2 as well as on the Redmi K30. Now this might come as a surprise for a couple of people, because this phone might launch between 25 to 30,000 rupees, and we already have phones including Xiaomi's Redmi K20 Pro that provide 855 in this segment. So I'm not sure why Xiaomi went with a 730G, but it's not a bad chipset. Apart from that, you've got I think 6GB or 8GB of RAM. This variant that I have has 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage, and this is the UFS 2.1 storage. The 8256GB variant is called the Mi Note 10 Pro. That's the only difference between these phones. You've got more RAM and more storage, and that phone gets a UFS 3.0 storage. So this one has UFS 2.1, which is still pretty fast. In terms of battery, I've already told you that you've got 5260 mAh of battery, and this phone has 30-watt charging. Now this phone can charge from 0 to 58% in 30 minutes, and a 0 to 100 will take roughly around 65 to 70 minutes. So not that slow as well, but it's not as fast as the Realme X2 Pro either. Then moving on to the design of this phone, this is where I was really impressed with the Mi Note 10. So first of all, this phone has got a metal frame, so on the sides it's metal, and the phone actually has glass back. So on the back you've got Gorilla Glass 5 if I'm not wrong, and if you see on the front you've got this curved display like you see with the OnePlus 7 Pro or the flagships from Samsung. So the display actually curves and it goes along the curve of the phone. Not a great thing in terms of durability because this phone is already very slippery and I've dropped it once. You can see I've got a small dent on the bottom left corner because I was shooting this phone and it just slipped off, and I'm happy that nothing broke on the phone, but it left a small dent. So you have to be very careful because this phone is very slippery. But if I talk about the in-hand feeling, it feels really rich and premium, and the overall look of the phone with that curved display is also great. It really looks very rich. It looks like an expensive device, and a lot of people like having such curved displays because you normally see them on phones that cost upwards of 45 to 50,000 rupees. So I really love the design here. The display is gorgeous. It's a 6.4 inch Full HD plus AMOLED display, so you've got those deep blacks, you've got those saturated colors, and all in all the display is very good. One thing that I didn't like is that the refresh rate is stuck at 60Hz. If Xiaomi would have given a 90Hz panel, this would have been a killer display. But I guess they had to cut corners somewhere to fit in that 108 megapixel sensor. But yes, the display looks very pretty, although one gripe that I have with it is that Xiaomi has not given you any kind of screen protection. Even if you talk about brands like Samsung, OnePlus, Realme, they give you at least a plastic screen protector because with a curved screen the display itself becomes very fragile. But Xiaomi has not even included a plastic screen protector, so a third party accessory is necessary to protect the screen of the phone, otherwise you're gonna end up breaking it. This display also houses the fingerprint sensor, so you've got an optical fingerprint sensor which is inside the display like the Redmi K20 and the K20 Pro, and it feels very fast and fluid as it could get. As you can see, I'm setting up the fingerprint sensor and I'm using it and I've got no complaints with it. So in-display fingerprint sensor works great. So I love the design of this phone from the front, and even from the back this phone looks absolutely amazing. You've got that Penta camera setup on the back, and these lenses are so huge it actually looks a little bit crazy. And the weirdest part is that apart from the 5 cameras, you've got 2 sets of flash. So normally every phone has a single dual tone LED flash. This phone has 2 of them. So maybe this would give you a better photography with flash, because let's face it, nobody likes clicking photos with the flash on. But nevertheless, I will try this out in my camera review. But talking about those cameras, now let me list the sensors on this phone because there are quite a few of them. So the primary sensor is the 108 megapixel f1.7 lens which supports optical image stabilization. Then you've got a 20 megapixel wide angle lens, and this is one of the highest megapixel count for a wide angle lens because majority of the phones have an 8 or 13 megapixel wide angle lens. Then you've got a 12 megapixel telephoto lens. This one comes with a 2x optical zoom, and then you've got a 5 megapixel which is upscaled to basically 8 megapixel, and that is a 5x optical zoom lens. So basically you've got 2 zoom lens, 1 primary lens, 1 wide angle lens, and then you've got a 2 megapixel macro lens. And combined with all of this, you can get a 50x hybrid zoom, something that you've also seen on the Realme X2 Pro. That phone had a 20x zoom. This phone gets a 50x hybrid zoom. So the camera setup is absolutely crazy. The front facing camera is a 32 megapixel one, and this phone also supports camera to API. So I'm just waiting for this phone to launch, and then some hardworking developer is gonna make a Gcam that will let you take photos in 108 megapixel along with support for all of the other lenses. So let's keep our fingers crossed for that. But as of now, I'm just showing you some of the 108 megapixel samples that I took on the Mi Note 10, and it's absolutely crazy that a phone that is costing this can achieve this much level of detail. Now, how does this work in indoor lighting, low lighting? That is something that we'll figure out in my future videos, because I'll be comparing this phone with the K20 Pro as well as with the Realme X2 Pro and OnePlus 7T and phones like those. So you guys will get a clear idea about how good the camera setup is on this phone. Talking about video, the best part about this phone is that it lets you record video on all of the lenses. So right from the macro lens to the wide angle lens to the primary lens to the 2x and 5x lens, you can record video on all of them, and that's great because a lot of manufacturers don't allow you to do that. Although one disappointing thing about video is that you don't get 4K 60 FPS because Snapdragon 730G does not support 4K 60. You can only go up to 4K 30. But Xiaomi has added an ultra stabilization mode, and this lens also gets optical image stabilization. So maybe in terms of video stability, this phone might be very good, but that is something we'll find out in my camera review of the Mi Note 10. Then finally, moving on to the software experience, this phone runs on the global version of MIUI 11. So this is not a Chinese version. This is not a Chinese unit. It's a global unit. So you get the global MIUI, and it's based on the MIUI 11 on Android 9. Unfortunately, I don't know why this phone does not get Android 10, because it's one of the flagship phones in the Mi Note lineup, so it should get Android 10. Maybe when Xiaomi launches this in India, they will announce the Android 10 update, but as of now it runs on Android 9. But you've got MIUI 11, so all of the features that you've had with the MIUI 11 update, you get it on this phone. Dark mode, dual apps, second space, all of those things are available on the Mi Note 10 with MIUI 11. And it's actually quite fun to use MIUI on a curved screen phone. I've never used any curved screen phone from Xiaomi before, so this is a really nice experience. If only the refresh rate was 90Hz instead of 60, the experience would have been even more smooth. Lastly, talking about some other things, this phone gets the headphone jackets on the bottom. You've got a Type-C port. The loudspeaker is located at the bottom. You only get a single speaker. There is no stereo setup here. And you've also got the IR blaster, something that we have not seen on the K20 and the K20 Pro. So I'm glad that the IR blaster is present on this phone, and this phone I don't think gets a micro SD card slot. You only get dual SIM slot. So it supports dual VoLTE and 4G and things like that, but you cannot add a micro SD card. It also gets Bluetooth 5.0, there is NFC, and this display is HDR10 certified as well. So basically that's your Xiaomi Mi Note 10. This was my unboxing and hands-on review of this phone. Of course, because I've purchased this phone, a lot of videos of this phone would be coming very soon, and I'll make sure that I'll publish all of the videos before Mi Note 10 is officially launched in India. What do you guys think should be the pricing of this phone? Should it be around 25,000 or should it be around 30,000, given that you get the 108 megapixel sensor? I'm gonna put a poll here. Let me know your opinions. I want to know what you guys would pay for the Xiaomi Mi Note 10. And please don't be cheap while voting on the poll. Give me your honest opinion, because a lot of people say that this phone should launch for 20 grand or 22 grand, which is just crazy. So let me know your honest opinion on the pricing in the comments as well as on the poll. If you guys have any more questions about the Xiaomi Mi Note 10, then please let me know in the comments and I'll be more than glad to answer it. I am planning to do an FAQ video as well, so if you guys have any questions, drop them down below in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed watching this video, then please hit the like button, share it with your friends, and if you are new here, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon, because a lot of videos, comparisons of this phone with the X2 Pro, K20 Pro, K30 are coming to the channel soon. That's it for now. Thanks for watching this video, and I will be back in notifications very soon. Peace.